Today we're going to be creating or watching our review video for Chapter 11.4, Chapter 11, Section 4. And we'll start with our learning target for today. Our learning target is to find the mean, the median, the mode, and the range of a set of data. Well, I think the first thing we need to do is make sure we've got common definitions for all these things. So let's go through the first term here. Measure of central tendency, the number or pieces of data that can represent the whole set of data. So this is probably the selected, either the mean, the median, the mode, or the range that best describes the data. All right. The mean is the sum of the numbers in a set of data divided by the number of items in the data set. Some typing errors here, sorry about that. The data set. The median is the middle number in a set of data when the data is arranged in numerical order. That's from smallest to largest. If the data set has an even number, the median is the mean or the average of the two middle numbers. The mode is the number or numbers or items that appear most often in a set of data. So it's the most common data in the list. And the last one, the range, is the difference between the greatest number and the least number in a set of data. Well, let's jump right in to some definitions here. And let's make sure that you've got these. We're going to refer back to this page frequently. We're going to refer back to the mean, which is the sum of the data divided by the number of items. All right, the sum divided by the number of terms. The median is the middle number, or when they're arranged from least to greatest, or it's the average or the mean of the middle two numbers if they happen to have an even set. The mode is the number or numbers that occur most often, and the range is the difference between the greatest and the least. Like I said, we will refer back to that frequently as we do some examples here. The ages and years of the actors in a play are 4, 16, 32, 19, 27, and 32. Find the mean, median, mode, and the range of the data. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is refer back to my definitions here, and I'm going to look for the mean. The mean is the sum of the data divided by the number of items in the data set. So it's the sum of the data. That means it's going to be 4 plus, and I'm going to put these in order, 16 plus 19, see how I put next largest, plus 27 plus 32 plus 32, all of that divided by the number of terms. The number of terms is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so there's 6 terms. If I add up that numerator there, I get 130 going across all the way across the top from left to right. If I add those, I get 130. 130 divided by 6 will give me the average or the answer of 21.7. 21.7. All right. The next thing, we're going to refer back to our rules again. Refer back to our rules. We're asked to find the median. The median is the middle number. The middle number. So when they're written in order. So as I look across this, I'm going to simply cross off one from each side, and then a second one from each side, and then a third one from each side. You know what? I run out. I can't get there. So I'm going to have to average those two numbers. It's going to be 19 plus 27. 19 plus 27 over 2. 19 plus 27, as I add those up, I get 46. 46 divided by 2 is 23. So the mean in this case is 23. The mode, which would be the most common, well, as I look across the data, there's only 2 entries that are the same, so it's those two, they're 32. So the most common data point is 32. And finally, the range, which would be the largest number minus the smallest number, so it'd be 32 minus 4, or 28 is the range. We'll do more examples with this right away. The ages and years of children in a play or at a daycare center are 3, 5, 3, 7, 6, and 4. Well, I'm going to find each of the mean, the median, the mode, and the range. But the first thing I'm going to do is write them in order. 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus, I'm sorry, it should be plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, all divided by the number of terms. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms, so I'm going to divide that by 6. If I go across that numerator and I add it up using my calculator, I'm going to get 28. So 28 divided by 6, 28 divided by 6 is 4.7. So the mean age is 47. All right, the next thing is I want to look at the middle term. Which one is the middle term? So I'm going to subtract. I'm going to cancel off. When the numbers are in order from left to right, I'm going to cancel off 2 off the bottom side, then 2 off the top side. And then I've got 4 and 5 here are the middle terms, so I'm going to average 4 and 5. So if I average 4, it'd be 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5 divided by 2, that'd be 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5. So the median here is 4.5. The next thing I'm asked to do is find the mode. The mode, if we, again, look back at our definitions, we want to keep looking back there and making sure we're doing right. The mode is the number or numbers that occur most often. So it's the most often. Back to our problem here. The most often, well, I've got 3 occurs twice, and that looks like the only ones that repeat. So the most often is 3. And finally, we're going to calculate the range. The highest value is 7. The lowest value is 3. So 7 minus 3 is 4. The range is 4. All right. Let's look at which one of these, or which situation is when these different measures of central tendency is most useful. The mean is the most useful when the data has no extreme values. There's nothing way out either on the high side or way out on the low side. That's when the mean is the most useful. The median is when the data does have extreme values. It does have ones that are way out on one side, way out on the other, and when there's no big gaps in the middle. When there's no big gaps in the middle. And the last one, the mode, is the most useful when the data has many identical numbers. All right, so let's do this. Let's look at number 7, or the next slide here. It says select the appropriate measures of central tendency or range to describe the data in the table. Justify your reasoning. Well, let's first of all, let's calculate each of our different measures of central tendency. Let's do our average first. To do that, I'm going to write them in order from smallest to largest. So I've got a 0. I've got another 0. I've got the number 2. I've got another number 2. I've got a 3. I've got another 3. And I've got a third 3. I've got the number 4. I've got the number 6. I've got the number 10. And lastly, I've got the number 26. So if I'm going to find the mean of these things, I'm going to add these all up. If I go all the way across that, and that's my numerator, I go all the way across there and I add those all up, I'm going to get a total here of 72. 72, and if I count how many there are, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whoops, let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I think there's 12. So I'm missing one up here in my data. Oh, I see I skipped 13, so I need to add 13 here. 13. All right. So if I go across, I still do check my addition. It does come out to be 72. There's 72 over 12 entries. So 72 divided by 12 works out to be 6. So my mean is 6. If I look there to see which, the middle term, well, if I subtract or eliminate 2 off of this side and 2 off of this side and then 2 more off of here and 2 more off of there. As I wiggle my way in, I correct 1 off of here, 1 off of here. I'm left with 3 in the middle. So my median is 3. My mode, which is the most common term, well, you can see 3 is listed 3 times, so that's going to be 3. And of course, the last one is the range, and the range would be the highest value, which is 26, minus the lowest value, which is 0. So 26 minus 0 is 26 is my range. But now let's look at which is most valuable to us. And I want to go back to my rule set, which was on the screen before. My rule set said, well, that the mean is most valuable when it has no extremes. Well, looking at my data here, I see that it has an extreme way out here at 26, very, very high, much higher than the next closest, which is 13, half as much. So it is not the mean, which is the most useful here. The median, the data has extreme values, which this set of data does. And it has no big gaps in the middle. Well, let's look back and see if we got any big gaps in the middle. And if we look here across the middle, I've got 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4, 6. Not a big gap in the middle. So I'm thinking that according to my rules here, that the median is very valuable. And actually, many identical numbers with the number 3 was repeated 3 times. So I'm thinking the median and the mode are the most valuable of this problem, the most valuable data central tendencies. So looking at this data, we're not actually going to calculate each of these, but we're going to look for extreme values, and we're going to look for clustering around the center. All right. Well, if I can see here, I've got one that's 872, so I do definitely have extreme values. And the lowest down here is 12. So I'm thinking it's not going to be my mean because I do have extreme values, so I'm going to cross that one off. The median is where there are extreme values, which we have, and there's a clustering around the middle. Well, clustering around the middle would be in here, 97. That's not too bad. These are listed in order. Well, I guess they're a little bit out of order. So median's a possibility. Mode, it is repeated there. We have 2 values that are repeated, so I don't think it's going to be mode. And how about range? Range would be distorted because I go from 872 down to 12, so it's not range. I am going to select that it is the median, and the median is the best predictor. And I'm going to calculate that. I'm going to say 12, 12. The next highest is 74. The next highest is 97. The next highest would be 101, then 102, 136, 150, 179, 180, 180, 188, and lastly, 872. So if I'm going to start working my way into the middle here, I'm going to select 2 off this side. I'm going to cross 2 off this side. I'm going to cross 2 more off this side and 2 more off this side. So I'm narrowing my way into the center. I'm going to cross 1 more off here and 1 more off here. That leaves me 102 to 36. So I'm going to say 102 plus 136 divided by 2. So that would be 238. 238 divided by 2 is 119. 119. All right, and that's the median. Another type problem that we're going to be dealing with is how to predict how an average will change with the addition of 1 more score. So as I look at this here, she has an average of 92 on 6 tests, 6 quizzes. If she gets a 99 on the next one, what equation can best be used to find her new average given the score? Well, she's got scores that average to be 92. She's got 6 of them. So she kind of got 92 plus 92 plus 92 plus 92. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. She's got 92 6 times, and we're going to add 1 more, a 99. Well, how would we find the average of all those? we would add up all of this numerator, and it turns out to be 92 times 6 of them, because there's 6 entries, right? 6 quizzes, 92 times 6 plus the 99, but it's divided by 7 then. So if you look at that, the best equation here would be 92 times 6 plus 99, and then the whole thing divided by 7. So that's the pattern that we're going to use. We're not actually going to do the calculations there. Here's a problem, similar problem. We got an 84 on 10 quizzes. That's the average out of 10. So the weighted score, the weighted way to calculate would be 84 times 10 plus the new score, which is 90 over 11, because we've now got 11 scores. We had 10, now we've got one more, so we've got 11. So 84 times 10 would be 840, plus 90 would be 930 divided by 11, and 930 divided by 11 would be our answer. I guess they don't actually ask us to do that. Here it is, 84 times, whoops, I'm sorry, that's not correct. It's letter A is our correct answer. Thank you.